Employment and Social Development Canada works to improve the quality of life for all Canadians in part through social programs and benefits. ESDC believed to better help residents, government and policies needed to be more responsive to change, to emergencies, to opportunities, and to the changing community needs and values. So, they wondered, how might we holistically understand the impact of policy changes before we make them? To make it happen, they joined forces with Code for Canada to approach the challenge in a more digital way.
When we set that challenge, I was quite delighted that the team came in. They mapped, the current end-to-end policy process. They understood immediately and intuitively the opportunity here, and were able to create something that isn't just profoundly helpful to policy teams, but that profoundly bridges the gap between policy and implementations.
The tool that we worked on is called the Policy Difference Engine, which sounds pretty massive, and that's because it is a significant effort and there's a lot of moving parts.
What it really does is that it shows you the possibility of a future. If you want to go from the existing policy to a future state of the policy, how would our people be impacted, and are the results of that kind of a policy something that is desired, something that is within the budget, something that is favorable?
It makes use of a rules as code approach. The rules as code approach is a collaborative approach between technical and policy experts to encode the rules in a machine-friendly format in a way that could be reusable and testable and precise.
The Code for Canada Fellows worked as an embedded team within the Digital Experience and Client Data team at ESDC. They used their digital skills, extensive experience, and modern ways of working to build the world's first policy difference engine.
I think one of the biggest challenges we had is that there are no examples of policy difference engine. For most people, it was this unknown.
We spent a lot of time ideating, doing some research, seeing what was out there, and finding a way to concretely define the thing that we wanted to build.
Taking an iterative approach, the team leveraged multiple prototypes to test, learn, and revise the policy difference engine. The feedback gathered from each iteration was crucial to their success, allowing them to make informed improvements and changes in an agile way. Take a look at the Policy Difference Engine prototype. It is important to note that this is in the prototype stage and not a real service. This simulation also runs on a mock dataset. This Policy Difference Engine prototype simulates Canada's maternity policy, specifically the entitlement portion, which determines the amount of monthly supports parents will receive from employment insurance. Using the Policy Difference Engine, policymakers can examine the impact of changing the factors used in the calculation, such as the number of eligible weeks or percentage of average income. The prototype will take these new parameters and run them against a mock database to determine the effect of the change. We can look at the overall results to see what percentage of our population was positively or negatively impacted. We can also examine the results from a specific demographic lens, such as age, cohort, region, or province, as well as education and income.
The engine itself is a step towards trying to democratize data and policy impact so that you don't have to be as specialized an analyst, as specialized an expert to see different rule changes and the impacts that they have. And this allows less data comfortable policy folks and decision makers to change parameters and experiment and explore how different decisions affect policy.
I imagine a future where we have all the legislation and regulations of government publicly available in a machine-readable format, which then enables things like Policy Difference Engine and a whole universe of things that can be built on top of publicly available legislation and regulations code, so that anyone can then understand, improve, propose changes, and be able to ensure quality life outcomes from any regulation and changes.
With this one tool, we're able to shift the mindset of policy advisors, so they care about the impact of proposed policy changes. Delivery teams too, so that they're not just thinking about the immediate reality and to not think about policies as static, unchangeable instruments.
We think that our project specifically will not only help decision makers better understand the potential areas of impact of a policy change, but I think that it serves as kind of a way to foster a more open and inclusive conversation around what it looks like to create policy situated in evidence and equity.
Working with the Code for Canada Fellows allowed ESDC not only to build a prototype in 10 months, it also gave them the opportunity to explore new, agile ways of working and increase their digital capacity.
The Code for Canada framework and model gave us both a means to getting some really exciting things done, but also a means of modeling, showing, and helping our own much larger organization be able to see how you can work in a multidisciplinary team for better outcomes.
I'm really proud of the fact that as a team, we did the thing against all odds. Like, we have a coded prototype that is fully functional with a real data source. That's pretty cool.